Good evening and welcome everybody. Welcome to the VIV live presentation. My God, the excitement we had in the minutes up to this, people are just really building momentum, just really going crazy with this business. So I can't tell you how excited I am to be here, to be presenting this. And I want to welcome you to the VIV Lifestyle Company pre-launch webinar. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Brian Dalmaso, and I like to say I'm a future diamond executive with the VIV Lifestyle Company because that's the highest rank they have and that's where we're going. By building a community of like-minded people, by helping other people get to that same position as well. So tonight on this webinar, we're going to introduce you to a brand new startup company that has decades of experience. And that may sound like an oxymoron, a little confusing, but the corporate officers and the team in this brand new startup company, they come with decades of talent and experience in the industry. And everyone on this webinar are really some of the first people in the world to get a look at this new company that's exploding onto the scene. So we're really getting the benefit and the explosiveness of a new business startup combined with the benefit of having amazing leadership with people that have experience and have a lot of skin in the game. So the company's name is VIV, right? And VIV is Latin for live. It's a Latin word for live. So when we say VIV Life Better, what we're really saying is live life better. And that's really what the company's founded on. Our company is bringing products and services to the market that everyone really needs, but they're already using habitually as well. And the company's really built products from the ground up that are focused on customer first. That's one of the things I love about this. It's not just for the benefit of the company. They're really focused on benefiting the customer first. And what this means is we can feel comfortable presenting these products to people that are friends and colleagues without feeling like high-pressure salesmen. And without any kind of sales tactics either. I like to say it's almost as good as selling air to people, right? Something they need. And best of all, the company's put together a compensation plan that really rewards people for helping other people at the highest levels. So guys, what I want you to do is grab a notepad, get ready to take notes, because I promise you that you haven't seen a better ground floor business idea like this in a while. All right, so 5 reasons you don't want to miss the boat with this company. And listen, I'll be upfront too. This isn't going to be for everybody, right? We're only looking for sharp people that want to be part of some of the first movers with a category disrupting product and business model. So guys, honestly, if you're looking for the next get-rich-quick thing, this definitely isn't for you. This is a business, right? But if you like being part of an explosive new business on the ground floor and putting in your efforts, then you're going to reap life's greatest rewards with the rest of us down the road for helping to build this business. So first of all, we got a better gig, right? Number 2, we have better products. Number 3, we have better company vision, and that part's huge. I'm going to get into that. Number 4, better leadership from both the corporate officers and most importantly from the field. And guys, probably the big one here is number 5, which is a better you, right? The person that you will become as we grow together building this business. So let's talk about a better gig. If you're somebody who's working at a job, you're basically making what we call M1 income. And this is hourly income. And quite honestly, guys, it's the worst possible way to make money. And I don't mean that in a negative or insulting way. It just is. Working for an hourly wage in the grand scheme of things is quite honestly the worst possible way to make money, because you can only leverage that so far. I don't care if you're making $100 an hour and working 80 hours a week. It's still going to cap out at $8,000 a week working hourly, right? Now, if you own your own business, or if you're an investor, or if you own apartment buildings, right, you're earning something what we call as M2 income, which is where you have some amount of leverage. You either have employees, something other than just your own efforts. And again, this is where you're leveraging other people or money to compound your income, but there's no passive residual income usually to M2 income, right? And this is okay. I have several M2 income businesses myself, but it's still limited, right? It's still limited to me working and managing people myself. And then you have M3 income, and M3 income is only enjoyed by 1% of the world. And it's the best possible way to earn income, right? It's the best kept secret of the super wealthy. This is where you leverage, right, people and or time, and you market something once, and you get paid over and over and over and over again every single month, passive residual income for something you only do once, right? And this is only a small part of why VIV is a better gig. Let's talk about side hustle, right? We use that term, but in the U economy of today, most everyone has some kind of a side hustle or a side gig, right? They say about half of all baby boomers are interested in entrepreneurship as they near retirement. And is it any wonder why, right? Most of the baby boomers, they had the 40-year plan in the M1 income strategy. That's what they were taught. Working 40 to 60 hours a week for 40 years, squirreling a little bit of money away every month and investing in like a 401k and hoping to get to the point of, 60, 65 years old. And quite honestly, guys, most of that didn't work. Most of the people in that category, that plan didn't work. And that's why they're interested, right? There's over 76 million qualified people looking for a side gig or a side hustle. And here's the big one, guys. Half of all millennials are not entering traditional 40-hour work week jobs, right? They're catching on. They're having multiple revenue sources to generate a more flexible lifestyle and to be in control of what they're earning. I mean, think about Uber or Airbnb, eBay stores, Shopify stores, right? These are all side hustles and side gigs. And there's over 50,000 people a month joining Uber just to generate additional revenue, right? I mean, the reason why you're on this webinar is because you're at least curious about looking at other things. So almost everybody's looking for something. And guys, let me tell you why you might want a side gig, right? If I go back 4 years when I started my first side hustle, and it really led me to a completely different life. I've been very blessed, and we're just able to buy our $1 million lake house, a dream house that I've been wanting forever. We're looking at a summer home in Florida, right? I currently now work from home, running multiple businesses, and I'm very fortunate and blessed to be marrying the woman of my dreams, right? I create my own hours, and I decide exactly what I want to do, how I want to do it, and how much I want to earn, all from pursuing something like this 4 years ago. Right now, I was 44 years old and working and living just the same as most people 4 years ago with one revenue stream in construction. So I'm not, I don't say any of this to impress you. It's more to impress upon you what something like this can spark in you. And now I can't guarantee that you're going to meet the man or woman of your dreams, but I can promise you that this will be the beginning of a path to a better life, a life that you can live on your own terms, right? And again, guys, I don't say any of this to impress you, but if I can do it, you can do it. I'm not special. I just was fortunate enough to recognize an opportunity and take immediate action. So guys, I want you to take a minute and think, what would it really feel like to be able to cut back to 20 or 30 hours a week working? What would it really feel like to be able to fire half of your clients in your core business because you have a side revenue stream that you can lean on? That's exactly what I've done in my construction company, right? I was able to scale it up and leverage out because I had a side gig that was bringing in residual income. And now all we do is build multi-million-dollar homes because that's what I want to do. And I get to pick and choose my clients. I actually interview them. We've flipped the script on this whole thing, all because I was open-minded enough to take a look at something 4 years ago. So, what if you could take your entire family on a tropical vacation every single year, right? We're fortunate enough to do that too. And guys, it's not about the money. It's never about the money. It's about what type of life you can craft when you start to give yourself some options. And that's really what we're talking about here, right? So better products, right? Guys, we're so fired up about the category disrupting flagship products that we're launching. And I can tell you as a business guy, it's going to be hard for me to describe how lucrative this can be for you, how lucrative this space is, but I'm going to give it a shot. All right, so guys, raise your hand if you pay an electric bill or if you know somebody who does. Now, obviously, I can't see you here, but I want you to, feel how crazy this is, right? Our demographic and what we're doing is literally everybody, right? Well, I mean, most people don't know is that since energy deregulation 20 years ago, we have the choice to choose our energy supplier on our electric bill, whether it's residential or commercial. And if you don't know what that is, this is no different than choosing your cell phone provider for your phone service, right? You can choose who provides your energy based on service, based on green energy, based on cost, right? And what this is called, it's called third-party energy suppliers. So you have choices to choose your energy. And what we're able to do here with this new product is guarantee that we can save people money on their electric bill with our service. So guys, think about what I'm saying. Again, our demographic is literally everyone over, say, the age of 20 or 21. But our company, we're not about health products that only affect, 30% of the nation or beauty products that people don't need, that, just for women. There are literally thousands and thousands of companies out there in the health and fitness space competing with the latest pills and potions and lotions, right? Such a competitive atmosphere. This company here, VIV, we are literally the only company in the world with the product I'm about to show you. So think about that. Not only is it a startup, but the product we have, nobody else has. So guys, if energy deregulation and choosing your supplier is so great, you might ask yourself, why aren't more people switching? And the problem here is that some of you may have experienced this, is the entire third-party energy supplier space over the past decade, right? What they do is they offer a low introductory rate to get people to sign up. Some of you may have had this happen with, Comcast or Verizon. They give you a low rate. They try to get you in the door to sign up. And then what happens over time is your bill ends up going up. The term runs out. You're either, too lazy, or you don't figure it out, or whatever happens, you don't feel like switching. They count on that. They know that's going to happen. The same thing exists in the energy space. These third-party suppliers, they know that about 75% of the people won't even notice when they jack their rates. And quite honestly, most people don't even know how to read their bill. So what happens is they get into a rate, and then they run out of their term 6 or 12 months later. They end up rolling into a higher rate without even knowing, and paying more than the utility would have charged them in the first place. So there's a lot of confusion and frustration here. And if any of you guys have ever had a credit card with a great introductory offer, it's the same thing, right? The 6 month goes up, you still have a balance, they jack the rates up. So it's the same exact thing happening in the energy space. So what happened here is some people got smart, right? They pay attention to their bills, and they would switch from provider to provider, and they'd really maximize the system, saving money. But let's be honest, the problem here is, who has time to monitor their electric bill, right? Just to save $10 or $20. Your time's valuable. So there's another problem, So guys, the energy space in the US is over $1 trillion space. It's massive, especially when you factor in solar. And whenever you have millions and millions of people in a space this big with a universal problem to fix, what you get is a massive opportunity for a new business model. So guys, welcome to Autopilot. That's what we're talking about here. A sophisticated software-based service that automatically puts customers in the lowest possible energy rate in their area, guaranteed. It works on the customer's behalf, not the company's behalf. And with this new service, we're getting our customers the best of both worlds, right? They're getting the lowest possible rates, and they're guaranteed to beat the utility without having to monitor their energy bills. And they don't have to know how to read the bill in the first place. They're just getting a service that pretty much handles all of it. So just imagine, asking even your mom, saying, hey, Mom, would it be okay if we cut down your electric bill? Like, what's she going to say to that, right? Excuse me. Or do you prefer to keep paying more than you have to? This is such a no-brainer, right? I hate to use that term, but it really is. And guys, think about this. Who do you know that owns a business or works at a large company or owns properties? People in the trades and construction, right? With our commercial service, these people are no longer going to have to pay broker's fees on top of the energy costs. So imagine walking into your local bank or the grocery store or your local lumberyard, just saying, if I could show you how to remove the broker cost from your energy bill, would you give me 5 minutes to show you how? And then being able to show them a 3 to 5 minute video. It's going to be pretty much that simple. Now, guys, I'm not going to get that deep in this webinar about, commercial and residential. We have videos that are going to explain all of that. But let me just say that we get paid every single month residual income when people pay their electric bill, monthly residual income. So the bigger the bill, the more we get paid. So commercial energy, some of these companies are using millions of kilowatts a month. We would get paid a much higher commission on that. So guys, that's one of our flagship products that we're so excited about, but that doesn't really stop there. VIV is launching a whole suite of lifestyle products and services that people already use. We have another flagship product in the water purification and filtration space. And if you think about this, guys, people are reading more and more about, plastic outgassing in bottled water, and, most of the water coming from municipal supplies instead of spring water that's being advertised. If you read the fine print, you'll see that. And there's more and more people becoming conscious of the landfills and the plastic floating islands offshore in the world's oceans from plastic bottles and trash. So they're really flocking back to high-end water purification systems. That's one of the things that we're going to be offering. We have credit and fraud protection services at a discounted rate from other providers because we're able to bundle services when they're not. If you've ever heard of a company called Legal Shield, They're a direct marketing company that just focuses in that one area. So we're able to offer some of the same services and bundle them up and get them to people cheaper. Ever since the Equifax data and identity breach, there was over 175 million customers that had their data breached from Equifax, right? People have been signing up in droves for credit and fraud protection services. And I've heard some absolute horror stories about identity theft. And so this is a service bundle that I'm personally going to get myself. Let's see, we have services similar to AAA road service, but half the cost. Again, the power of bundling. So I'm not trying to sell somebody this service. I'm asking them, do you have AAA? You know, we're already in the door. They're already an energy service customer of ours. We have these other things that we can bundle on if they're already using some of these services. We have an online medical service that can save thousands a year diagnosing simple things like earaches and infections over a Zoom meeting like this. With a network of doctors that can actually prescribe over the Zoom to you and your family, so you don't have to take time off of work to drive your kid in just to get a prescription for an earache or a sore throat or an infection, right? Or even if you're somebody that uses a doctor a lot, you can get your monthly prescriptions over a Zoom instead of having to go in. So that's going to be absolutely massive. And then we have services like ADT in the home security space. Again, similar service, but at a fraction of the cost because we're bundling. And guys, we're going to have many, many more lifestyle products and services added to come that simplify people's lives, saving them money on something they're already doing. That's the real key here. So guys, I think you'll agree with me that the company has products and services that are going to be virtually effortless to sell and market because, you know, it's not too hard to market something like energy when we're just saving money. But let's talk for a minute about vision. Right? The VIV Lifestyle Company was built from the ground up, focusing on the customer first, as I mentioned. And the Autopilot Energy Service was built by a software engineer by the name of Kevin Manley. And Kevin was one of the top software engineers who worked for Ray Dalio and their Bridgewater hedge funds. Now, Kevin wasn't in the energy space. He was a software engineer. He was an energy customer that got so fed up with the third-party energy suppliers' tactics, he decided to do something about it. So this was born out of customer frustration. And he decided to develop a software that would work on the customer's behalf and get the lowest possible rates at all times. So our autopilot service wasn't built by a corporation looking to screw people and do false advertising and offer false claims. It was literally developed by a frustrated customer who happened to be a software engineer to benefit people and not the energy suppliers, right? So radical transparency from the corporate officers to the products to the field leadership. This company is being built from the ground up on radical transparency to the client and to the consultant, which is us, that chooses to build a business with this lucrative suite of products. So better leadership, let's talk about that a little bit. Guys, the best type of leadership that you can have in a relationship marketing company is one that combines corporate leadership and the top field leaders to provide feedback and keep grounded, right, to how the customers are being serviced, how the field is working with the products, and most importantly, the compensation. And that's exactly what we have here at VIV. Our CEO, Cami Bamey, comes with over 2 decades of advanced marketing and branding education. And she has skills and as well as decades of experience in the retail energy space as well. Our Chief Sales Officer, Robert McFadden, he has over 25 years of relationship marketing sales and is a world-class sales trainer himself. I've actually taken some of his trainings. He's a brilliant sales guy, and he knows how to teach it at a very rudimentary level. Our Chief Sales Technology Officer here is a gentleman I just mentioned that developed the Autopilot software, and he's got a software engineering resume. Quite honestly, would take up the rest of the webinar, so I'm not going to get into that. So, guys, with a team like this, I think you can see why the company is really starting to go viral and why we're so excited. And lastly, guys, a better you, right? Last, I was telling you, 4 years ago when I got into this relationship marketing space, I only had my construction company. I was just doing kind of okay, right? But after spending the last 4 years being surrounded by like-minded people, really everything has changed. As I mentioned, I went from 1 revenue stream to 14 and continuing to grow. I had the presence of mind to seek out, and I've been trained by some of the best thought leaders in the world, and I actually work with some of them now in other companies. And as I mentioned, I was able to meet the love of my life as a result of pursuing this industry. So, guys, you can't even imagine the person that you're going to become from going down this path, being with an exciting new company with a team of like-minded people. And remember, if I can do it, you can do it. So we all have the same opportunities in life. You just have to be aware of them and take action. This stuff is always floating all around us, but being aware is a whole different skill. And I want you to think for a minute, right? Take a look at where you were 5 years ago and take a look at where you are now, right? Because this is the same exact place you'll be 5 years from now if we don't do something different. And you might have been fine 5 years ago. I'm not here to say that you weren't. You might be comfortable. But if you weren't fine 5 years ago and you don't like where you are now and you want to do something about it, right? You want to take action. Because I can promise you guys, this business is going to bring out the best possible version of you because we have to help people. We have to help people. We have to impact everyone around you in a positive way in order to succeed. So guys, as I mentioned, we're in pre-launch phase, and what we're doing is we're pre-enrolling consultants, business partners, and we're building the business for when we go live around mid-April. And the best part about the company is there's no monthly website or membership fees. Anybody that's ever been in a relationship marketing company, most of them have some sort of a monthly annoying fee. We don't have that, right? Just a one-time enrollment fee to start your business, to get everything you need to run your business, including the personal website, the product and business training. I call it a business in a box, basically. They have everything we need. There's nothing for you to go do to start your business except enroll and get going. And what we're doing here, guys, is we're dropping the enrollment fee to $99 to generate some momentum before the launch. So the beautiful part here is we keep this super simple. This business is easy. Now it's work, right? We do two simple things. We enroll customers in any of the products I just showed you, and then we pique interest and invite others to do the same thing. And as an owner of multiple businesses, I can tell you it doesn't get any easier than this. Now, I'm not saying it's not work, because it is, but quite honestly, it doesn't get any easier than offering to help someone lower their bill on something they're already paying for, right? All right, guys, so that's an overview of the company and the services and the products, just a brief overview. What I want to do now is take a few minutes just to give you an overview of the compensation plan. And again, this is not going to be a deep dive. It's just going to hopefully pique your interest. We do have a 1-hour compensation-specific webinar that we can send to you if it does pique your interest. So guys, I personally know that Rob spent hundreds of hours designing this comp plan from the ground up, and something that would generously reward those who help build this company. And I've become a student of compensation plans myself, and this one is by far the best hybrid I've ever seen. This plan hits really all the metrics. It's based off a unilevel plan, which pays to unlimited width. And what that means is you can sponsor and teach and train as many people as you want. You can do 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. There's no limit to how wide you can grow your business and leverage, right? And this plan also has M1, M2, and most importantly, the biggest section is M3, right? That passive residual monthly income. So it's hitting on all cylinders there too. Again, the M3, we're getting paid over and over and over again as our customers pay for their services and bills on a monthly basis. So you can see here we make a substantial amount of money just from some of the core products we have, right? One-time upfront commissions, everything from an upfront $250 commission on a water system to a $350 commission on a security system. We have commissions on residential and commercial energy, an $1,100 residential solar commission, right? To even tens or even hundreds of thousands on commercial solar and solar fields. So one of the things that completely separates us from the rest of the relationship marketing industry is our suite of products. It goes from everything from low things to very high ticket items. So people can actually make a career just out of marketing our products and services, which is way different than most other companies. Most other companies, you absolutely have to build a team. The products alone will not be a sustainable income. So this is a big differentiator from other services and companies out there. And again, guys, what I feel is the most important part of a business is being able to grow that residual income bigger and bigger and bigger every month. That's like the retirement plan. That's your 401k, right? Doing something once, getting paid over and over. It's like an annuity. And most of our products also carry that passive monthly residual income, which means you're going to get paid every single month over and over again as long as they are a customer of yours. So guys, this plan also rewards people for building in width and in depth, right? It pays up to 8 levels deep, which is unheard of in a unilevel plan, and I'll show you a little bit more about that. What we really did here, guys, we basically started with the most lucrative type of compensation plan in relationship marketing, the unilevel plan, and they put it on steroids. There's also an additional $120,000 in business rank advances. These are cash bonuses as we build over the months and years ahead. Every time we rank advance, as our team gets a little bigger, and we build volume, we get cash bonuses, and there's a total of $120,000 in bonuses on the table as we build over the next 3, 5, 10 years. And again, guys, I'm not gonna get too deep into the webinar about the compensation because it could take hours just doing that. But I do want to highlight a few things. You can see here that there's 8 levels of compensation, and you can see the different ranks across the top. And we have many people already positioned with enough consultants to immediately rank at the partner and silver partner rank. And we've only been doing this for about 4 weeks, so we already have people that are structured halfway up the chain in the compensation plan. So guys, what I tell people, they can either jump in or watch it go by, but trust me when I tell you, this is happening right now as we speak, building, people are signing people up, even on this webinar as we speak, all over the country here. So the reason I highlighted the silver partner rank is because there's an additional compensation payouts from this level on. What we're getting, guys, here on top of everything that I mentioned so far is an additional 2% company profit sharing pool. And I want you to think about this, right? When the company gets to the $100 million mark, which will be inside of this year, that means they'll be putting $2 million in a pool, and at the partner rank, there'll likely only be a few hundred people in it. So if you split it, $2 million amongst a few hundred people, it's pretty significant. And this pays out every quarter, right? And like I'm telling you, we already have people structured at that rank. So this is not something that's 5, 10 years down the road. This is something that every single person, even if you just started, can get into that pool within this year. Another thing we have here, guys, I want to mention, at the executive level, we have another 2%. So at the partner rank, it's 2%. At the executive level, you get another 2%. So as we're building over time, that corporate profit share gets bigger and bigger. And again, the compensation webinar gets really deep into that. What you're seeing here is something called generational pay. And again, this might be confusing, but I'm going to skim over it, right? Level pay pays down 8 levels in your business. That means if you sponsor somebody, they sponsor it, and they sponsor 8 levels deep. We got paid on that 8 levels deep. But generational pay is something that kicks in on top of level pay. So this means that if you're at the middle rank of, say, partner, right, and you start to unlock generational pay, it means you're going to get paid partner over partner. So let's just say I'm sponsoring somebody and 1 level deep, and they sponsor, and they're just consultants, and they're kind of working their business, but somebody 5 levels deep really gets a hold of this and builds a big team, and they become a partner really quick. That's 1 generation of partner. And let's say 30 more levels develop before somebody really gets a hold of this and they become a partner. I'm going to get paid 2 generations deep on that partner level if I'm a partner. And you can see over here in the corner that eventually we get paid 4 generations deep. So what that means, guys, even if it's confusing, we get to the point where we get paid hundreds of levels deep because of generational pay. That's what I really wanted you to take away from this. It doesn't stop at 8 levels. There's another mechanism that kicks in around the mid-level. And this is designed to keep people working, even if they're making $200,000 or $300,000 a month. It keeps people working. They keep unlocking more and more benefits. So again, it's very robust. Guys, there's one final way we get paid that's another form of profit sharing called the leadership pool. And this is another 2% that is split up very similar for the people that are in that pool every single quarter. So we have a total of 6% corporate profit sharing on the table, which I don't know if this exists in any other companies. I've never heard of a relationship marketing company having corporate profit sharing. So this is very unique in my opinion. So guys, that's an overview of the VIV Lifestyle Company. Anybody that knows me, they know I'm very direct and honest with people, very transparent when it comes to business. After seeing what you saw here tonight, you're either in or you're out, right? What I just showed you, it either resonates with you or it doesn't. And either way is fine. We're not trying to get anybody to do anything. This is a startup company, right? And we're just looking for people that want to run and be part of something new and exciting, explosive. There's no more information for us to give you, right? There's nothing to research. There's no history on the company. That's why I said it either resonates or it doesn't. And if it resonates, right, we want to make a decision and take action. You either want to run with us or you don't. And quite honestly, I actually like it this way. A lot of people become professional procrastinators, right? They get analysis paralysis, and they overlook their own intuition when they're making decisions. And they'll say things like, wow, this seems really cool, but let me think about it, or send me some more info, right? And those people are the same people 5 years later, they're still stuck in the same jobs, making the same money, living the same life, because they don't know how to make decisions. What somebody's really saying when they say, let me think about it, is let me decide to not make a decision, right? It's called procrastination, and that's a decision in itself. And Napoleon Hill calls it the silent killer of man, right? Guys, I made the decision to start a software company in 60 seconds flat because I've learned through this process how to trust my intuition and make decisions. And I closed that knowing, doing gap. And people like Henry Ford and Thomas Edison, they make decisions the same, or they made decisions the same way. Either resonates or it doesn't. Either way is fine. So guys, I'm here on this webinar not only just to highlight and share this with you, but also give you a little of a gut punch and a reality slap. If you want to get ahead in life and change your current situation, what's your plan, right? If it's not this, what's going to change? And I teach people this in my consulting business too. I teach them how to make decisions, individuals and corporations. And I can tell you guys, from a business point of view, this is a very low risk, no cost way to get out of the hole and start something, right? Start towards that life you've always wanted. And I'm going to make it very easy for you. Again, if it doesn't resonate, don't do it, right? There's nothing to think about. But guys, if you do see this, right? If you see the opportunity here that's in front of you and it does resonate with you, right? If you see that people might want to save on energy, businesses might want to save, and you want to run with us, make sure you get with the person who invited you to the webinar. They can show you how to get enrolled tonight and how to take action. They can also show you how to get connected to this team, this explosive team of entrepreneurs. Again, there's nothing to wait for. There's nothing to research. Brand new company, and the people that act with definite purpose, those are going to be the ones 3 to 5 years from now. Again, they'll be looking back from the millionaire circle. We're all going to be looking back, remembering when we had paper applications, remembering when all we had was webinars, we couldn't market products, right? We're going to remember all this stuff and look back. It's going to be some of the good stories. So guys, take advice from my fuzzy little friend here, right? Be decisive, right or wrong. Make a decision. The road of life is paved with flat squirrels who could not make a decision. So hopefully you enjoyed the show. We're going to stick around for a Q&A. Anybody that's new, I'm going to stop the video here and stick around for Q&A. If you do want to jump off, we sincerely appreciate your time. It's the most valuable asset we have. And I just want to wish you a good night and good luck in your endeavors, and God bless. So we're going to stick around for some Q&A. Just bear with me for a second.